Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kaylin, and today I wanted to make another video just talking about 10 more things to do instead of spending money. And my kids just had a friend over for the day, so that was nice. Like, it kept them entertained. It's been really lovely weather here today, so I wasn't really expecting that because yesterday it was like flooded and stuff. But apart from that, we've just walked potato, and I did like a dance workout this morning because basically I'm trying to find anything that will replace running because I just can't bring myself to do it again. And other than that, yeah, like, we haven't gone far. We went to the library briefly and I got a couple of books the librarian recommended to me. I couldn't tell you what they're called now, but I will share them with you when I'm reading them. And yeah, so I will start with my list. So my kids are watching TV in the next room at the minute, so hopefully there isn't too much noise and hopefully they don't fight. So number one is to plant some bulbs, because like, I actually got some that came with flowers that I got for Valentine's Day still attached to the flowers, and I like that idea, the fact that they sent them like that, and then it encouraged you to clip them off and keep them in a little paper bag that they sent, and then to plant them in a dark place and then move them outside. And it said that a good time of the year to put them outside is March or September, so like, I'm gonna do that, and it'll be nice to see if the tulips grow. And yeah, it just made me think that it's a good time of the year to do that. Number two is to practice some breathing exercises, and I've kind of been using breathing, like conscious breathing, more and more to calm myself and ground myself. And I think in the past, like, I always kind of thought it was a bit silly when people suggested using breathing exercises to like help with things like anxiety, but I think now I'm actually learning how to do it properly. It is really helping, and I love like using the breathing that I use from yoga just like in my daily life more, and it just feels like a healthy thing to do. And when you breathe really deeply, like, it just feels like you're caring for your body, and it just sort of simplifies everything because you can just focus on your breath. And I've been practicing meditation too, and I just think that those things are actually really important for your well-being. Number three is to learn some different stitches, and like, whenever I was little, my mom taught me a few, and I kind of just sew and make it up as I go along now. But I know, like, she taught me back stitch, and is it running stitch, and cross stitch, and I'm trying to think if there was another one. And I would like to learn blanket stitch because I actually don't know how to do it yet, and it just sounds like it would be really useful, so I'm going to look up how to do that. And I really enjoyed doing embroidery recently, and I want to use a couple more of the kits that I have sitting in the cupboard. So yeah, it's just a really nice, like, restful activity to do. Number four is to rotate your accessories, because I think that, like, a lot of us have a habit of putting things away in boxes for storage, but then whenever you can't see it, it's like out of sight, out of mind. And I find it helpful to rotate things sometimes and put them kind of within my line of view so that I remember that they're there. And I like to keep my necklaces on a holder where I can see them, and I also have like it's like a spinny holder for my earrings, and it just helps to remind me to wear them. But you can do that with any accessories you have, like, even if you're a guy, if you have certain things that are put away and you want to remember to wear them, you can just change them around and put them somewhere where it's easier to access them, and kind of do it seasonally and change it now and again so that everything that you own kind of has its time to like shine in your wardrobe. Number five is to go on a drawing stroll, and by this I just mean like getting immersed in nature and bringing like a sketchbook with you, so that if you spot anything when you're out and about, you can take the time to stop and draw it. And you can do quick sketches or do really detailed ones with like colouring pencils and stuff. And I really like the idea of having a nature journal and documenting the things that kind of pop up at certain times in the year. And I just think it is a really like mindful activity to do, and it would be quite calming, and it's nice to stop and appreciate things as they grow, because you can kind of forget about them when you're not in that season anymore. And we've been seeing a lot of daffodils recently and snowdrops and some blossom. Like, I thought it was quite early for that when I saw blossom the other day, but yeah, it's just nice to kind of make note of the things that are appearing, especially springtime, because it feels like everything's been asleep during the winter. Number 6 is to sit and look out a window, and I have my chair close to the window in my kitchen, and I like to sit and write here and read here and kind of look out at the birds while I'm doing it, and just at whatever's happening outside and the weather and stuff. And I just like having like daylight fill the house for like as long as it's there. And I think we've kind of like lost the art of just sitting looking out a window. And I remember my granddad used to have like a wicker chair beside the window, and he would just sit and stare out the window and smoke. And like, okay, I'm not suggesting like taking up smoking, but there was something about that just, it was very peaceful, and I feel like we could replace a lot of our scrolling with that instead, and we'd probably feel much better for it. Number 7 is to polish something in your house, and it could be anything that you want, but it just like, I'm sure there's always something sitting that could do with being polished, whether it's your shoes or like your cutlery or glasses. My mom said when she was growing up that she and her sister had to like polish their glasses, and that they wouldn't be allowed to put them in the cupboard if there was like any sort of streaks on them. Number 8 is to identify like your special place near where you live and go to it more often. I have like a beach that I really love. I actually haven't been in a while and I want to go back. But I think it's nice to have like your own little special place, like even for a season, and it's like your go-to happy place, and you can just like easily get there whenever you feel like you need to clear your head. And I just think it's a nice thing to have, and if you don't have one, it's good to figure out where that place could be. Number 9 is to make a slow recipe, and by this I don't mean a slow cooker recipe, I mean more like a drawn out recipe that takes all day to make. If you have a day in the house where you can slow down and move at that pace. Yeah, there's something about making things that you eat with your hands and doing it in a slow, drawn out way. It just feels like you're kind of putting your love into your cooking, and I think it makes things taste better, because I always find when I make things in a rush and I'm distracted and doing loads of different things at once, it doesn't taste the same. But I like to have time. I have times of the year where I like to make everything from scratch and make things like bread, and have the slow process of like kneading and letting it rise, and like it's just really satisfying to make something that takes more time than you would usually spend on a meal. And you can find so many recipes like online or in magazines that like share things that take a bit more thought and time, and maybe some ingredients that you don't normally tend to buy. And finally, number 10 is to download some ebooks on Amazon from like indie authors, because there are a lot of books that are free whenever they do like a promotion, and I've done this myself with my own books too, where you put them up for a set number of days for free. People can download them, and then if you just leave a review like as a way of saying thanks, it's a nice like thoughtful thing to do, and it's a good way to discover new authors and try out some that you haven't heard of before, and an easy way to get like free books as well. I hope these ideas are helpful to someone, and thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and I will make another video soon. Bye.